Welcome back. Today we are discussing the second exercise in CNC programming. This is a step turning exercise in a CNC lathe, and this is the drawing, and this portion we needed to have the step turning operation, and the raw material is the same as in the first problem. It is dia 32 into 100 mm, and we need to identify the points. So this one is the point 1. Point 1, the coordinates, that is the machine 0 point, sorry, the work 0 point, and the coordinates of x and z both are 0. And the second point, here the diameter is 22, so the x is 22 and z is 0. The third point, there is no change in the x, so it is 22, but the z is changed to minus 20. Here is the fourth point, and this corner is the fourth point. There the x has got a change, it is increased to 28, and z is same, that is minus 20. And here it is the fifth point, this corner, and its coordinates are given as x is again 28 and z is now moved to minus 50. And this one is the last point, that is the sixth point, and here the x is 32 and z is minus 50. So these all are the coordinates of the points which we need to keep it in mind while writing the program. This part shows the complete program for this step turning operation. It contains three main parts, and this part is the first part. And the first part we have got step turn mpf.mpf, that is the name of the program. So .mpf means it is main part function, and this one is our main program. And the second part is another program. That second part is consists of a cycle 952, and this cycle 952 is a stock removal cycle used in numeric. So here this command is there, cycle 952, then it will be shifted to this one. Actually this portion is whenever we are writing the program, whenever we are writing the cycle 952, this submenu will open in the screen, and there we have to mention some variables. Then finally the third one, this one is the second one, and the third part is subprogram. That is, subprogram name is given as turn.spf. spf means subprogram function, and we are writing the subprogram. And we will discuss in the next slides, we will discuss one by one. First we consider the main part of the program, that is the main program function. And in this one it is named as step turn.mpf, and G71, G95. What is G71, G95, G28, X0, Z0? These all discussed in the last video. And here it is M06 is the tool selection. So here also we are selecting the turning tool, which is fitted at the tool position number 1, and it will have the offset values will be entered in an address D1. And the spindle speed is set to 250, and M04 means the spindle start to rotate counterclockwise. Then G00 code is given. We calling the tool to some initial position. Here it is, initial position is given as X32 and Z5, because this initially the raw material will be like this. It will be showing the raw material. And X32 means this is this diameter is maintained, and Z5 means it is 5 millimeter from this face. So this will be the initial position. So we are calling the tool to this initial position using the G00 code. Then next is the cycle 62. It is a particular command used to call the subprogram. And in bracket we are giving the name of that particular subprogram. Here it is turn.spf. So when we are giving this cycle 62 and turn.spf, then the command will be shifted to that subprogram. Next line is Cycle 952, we know that this is material removal cycle. This is a canned cycle. This one is a canned one. This is a canned cycle. And this is a subprogram. So both are actually using in this program. And then we are using this canned cycle to provide the metal removal cycle in order to avoid a large number of lines. Then after performing by this executing these two commands or these two blocks, we will finish the step turning operation. After finishing the step turning operation, we needed to move the tool to its home position again. Then after that, we need to stop the spindle, and this one is the end of the program. So this is the main lines of the main program. And in the second portion of this program, this one is the cycle 952, and this is a stock removal cycle. Stock removal cycle number 1. Here only one cycle we are using. So whenever you are entering the cycle 952, this kind of a menu will be open on the screen of the computer or the CNC machine. Then we have got so many features or so many variables are there. These values has to be filled. So first one is SC, means safety clearance. Some safety clearance should be given. That is 1 mm. That is the common thing. That is safety clearance means when to come safely, where to come the tool. Okay, so at what distance it has to be come and stop. So 1 mm safety clearance is always taken. So whenever the tool is coming to this position and it has to be got back to the initial position, so looping is there. So it was always maintained this 1 mm gap with the finished surface. So that is this line means. Second one is the feed rate. So feed rate is 0.1. Here we know that the feed rate is given as G95. 95 means the rate is in mm per revolution. So it is 0.1 mm per revolution feed rate is given. Then X0 and Z0 are the initial reference points. So here it is 35 and 0 has been taken. Then X1, Z1 are the another endpoint reference points where we have to stop the cycle, that is the stock removal cycle. So this is the endpoint that is given like this. Here it is given. So that is the endpoint. Then D is the maximum depth. For a single cut, how much will be the depth? Okay, so the maximum depth we are specifying. The computer has got the freedom to choose a depth in between 0 and 1. So that is fixed. Then UX and UZ is the finishing allowance in both in x-axis and z-axis. That means in this cycle, the final operation will be performed for finishing operation. All other operations are done with a rough cut, and the final operation will be having finish cut. So finishing allowance, that means the material remained for finishing operation will be 0.1 mm, both in z-axis and x-axis. And the third step is that we have to write the subprogram. And here in subprogram, actually we are defining the tool path. So we know that initially the tool is at this position using this command, that is X32 and Z5. So tool is reached over here. So in the subprogram, we need to give the next points on which the tool has to be moved. That is the finished points. That is the points on the finished work surface that is in this drawing. So first one is we are giving the G01 command, then X22. Feed rate is not required to give in this program because it is already given in this stock removal cycle. So X22 means it has to come to this X22 because initially it is not, it is at this point, that is, sorry, it is at this point X32 and Z5, it has to be brought to this point, that is the X22. Then Z has to be made it to 0. So the Z will be coming. So the tool will be coming to this point. This is the second one. Then it has to be moved to Z minus 20. So the tool will be moving further to this point. Then X 28. So this is the point where X 28, Z minus 20. Then the tool has to be moved to Z minus 50. So the tool has to be moved exactly on the surface of the workpiece like this. Then X32. So it has to be brought back to this point, final point. So that is the tool path is defined. That is exactly matching with the surface of the workpiece. That is finished work. Then M70 means the end of subprogram. So this is the code, M code used for showing that it is the end of subprogram. So whenever it's giving the end of subprogram means it will go back to the main program. Finally, this will be the entire program for this step turning operation. So whenever this subprogram is prompted, it will be directed to the subprogram, and the next block is for the metal removal cycle. So after completing the entire metal removal, it will make a loop with this subprogram. So the tool will pass again and again through these points. So many times it will go through these points, and after achieving this final shape, it will come back to the original program at this point. So at this point, the tool will be brought to the home position, then the spindle is stopped, and by this M30, the program ends over here. Thank you for watching.